Well, the Department of Justice is making good on plans to crack down on illegal immigration, starting with sanctuary cities. The Department of Justice now threatening to pull some federal funding from 4 cities struggling with crime unless they cooperate with immigration authorities. Joining us right now with his reaction is the spokesman for Hispanic 100, a member of President Trump's former Hispanic Advisory Council during the campaign, and Fox News contributor Steve Cortes. Steve, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Okay, so the 4 cities we're talking about: Baltimore, Albuquerque, Stockton, and San Bernardino. What is the Department of Justice warning to those cities?
Well, the warning is if you don't comply with what is clear federal law, we're going to withhold funds. And by the way, I even hate the term sanctuary cities. I hate that sometimes we give up the language to the left, because it's not sanctuary for the victims of these crimes.
Sure.
It's not sanctuary for the cops who have to deal with known criminals.
What's more appropriate?
I think renegade cities. That's what I'd rather call them. They're renegade cities. And I think these mayors of these cities, and by the way, there's a lot of them. It's not just these 4. I live in Chicago, which is probably the most dangerous city, frankly, in the Western world.
Right.
And our mayor, Rahm Emanuel, instead of worrying about protecting the children of Chicago, he's worried about protecting known criminal illegal immigrants. That's a renegade action. And it reminds me, quite frankly, of the Southern governors in the 1960s, people like George Wallace, who openly defied federal law, clear federal law, because they had their own narrow political agenda they wanted to pursue.
But when you look at these renegade cities, ultimately, what are they doing? I mean, if you want to protect your people, and if there's somebody in your town who's been deported 5 times for criminal reasons, and they're back and you know it, why not cooperate?
Steve, it boggles the mind to figure out why. I mean, I guess the reason why is it fits their politically correct worldview. But political correctness sometimes isn't just dumb, it can be dangerous. And we saw that awful case, talked about it on your show over the weekend in Portland, Oregon. Somebody was deported 20 times. I mean, is this insanity? And then not turned over, even though ICE issued a detainer, which is the official warrant for the arrest and deportation. Portland police refused to comply because Portland is a renegade city, so-called sanctuary city. He then raped a woman, a 65-year-old elderly woman, in her own home. We can't tolerate this kind of nonsense. I mean, it just belies common sense. The American people, the foundational principle of government is to protect citizens.
When you look at that map we showed just a little while ago, where there are so many Republicans in the governor's mansion, as opposed to the blue states, which are predominantly on both the coast a little bit, you got to wonder whether or not the people, is it just the people in the middle who are interested in the rule of law?
Well, it certainly shouldn't be, right? Because you can't pick and choose. And listen, I'm all for
sanctuary cities.
Right. I'm all for federalism. I like local control. But immigration is clearly a federal issue. It is constitutionally, it is by statute. In this instance, local control does not make any sense. And it doesn't make any sense for the safety of those localities. I mean, Rahm Emanuel, you know, I would implore him, please, worry about kids on the west side of Chicago who can't go to the playground and play, not the known dangerous illegal immigrant.
Well, maybe he's watching right now. All right,
I hope.
Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you.